I've always found it a bit odd that Japan is a country that is mostly secular or Shinto, but definitely not majority Christian. And yet they are one of the few countries that you go over there for Christmas and they really know how to do it just right. It's always fun. We've been watching in the Castle Rexworth Discord, especially last night, the Christmas night displays that they have in Japan are absolutely spectacular. I'm going to move chat over back to where you were before. I'm going next week. Oh, you're going to Japan? Oh, that's fantastic. If you're comfortable with it, do feel free to share a little bit of your itinerary, like what cities you're planning on visiting, or what sort of attractions you're wanting to go see. Osaka first, then Tokyo. Oh, fantastic. If they are still open to the public, and if you have some time, Dark, you might pay a visit to the fairgrounds for Expo 2025 in Osaka. Just if you can find some time. I'm sure you're going to be quite busy with a rather packed itinerary, but it's one of those things that I think they just wrapped it last month or a couple of months ago, but should still be open to the public. They can kind of mill about and see the sights over there. But yes, Christmas in Japan. Let's check out a brief history.
Ah, Christmas, that extra special time of year bursting full of holiday cheer, celebrated with all the classic trimmings, a big, bright, beautiful tree, presents galore, jolly old Saint Nick, and
Merry Christmas!
KFC?
ハッピーバーレル早割予約受付中クリスマス
They don't even call it a bucket, they call it a barrel. KFC, hell yeah!
ケンタッキーにしない
This is quite the Christmas tradition in Japan, KFC, and there's a whole story behind it.
Okay, so maybe fried chicken isn't exactly a staple of your traditional holiday feast, but in Japan, it's more likely than you'd think.
Zion TY15, thank you for the follow over on Kick.
Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome back to Tim Explains Japan. At first glance, Christmas in Japan seems just like anywhere else.
Hi, Tim.
Santa Claus, festive lighting, rampant consumerism. But upon closer inspection, some unfamiliar players begin to emerge. Christmas cake? Romantic gestures? Fried chicken?
Okay, now the romantic gestures, I personally find winter and the Christmas season to be possibly the most romantic time of year, rivaling even that of St. Valentine's Day. But, that's just me. So I don't find that bit too unusual. Plus, I mean, how many adverts have we seen over the years, like from De Beers? This is the time that they really start to ramp up the whole "a diamond is forever" sort of adverts that you see all around the world, and telling men to give your woman the gift of jewelry, especially of a diamond, or Lexus, for example, with the whole December to Remember, where they've got all the adverts, snowy front lawn, and the husband or the wife brings their spouse out there to the front lawn and of a house, and all of a sudden they got their eyes closed and say, "Okay, open your eyes," and they see this beautiful new Lexus in the driveway, and got a big red bow on it, and it's piano black lacquer paintwear, and they just get all excited, or they cry with unbridled joy, and it's the idea of romance at Christmas time. It goes together. It goes together like fish and chips.
In this special holiday episode, we take a closer look at some uniquely Japanese Christmas traditions, how they came to be, and how Colonel Sanders came to be synonymous with the season. Let's get started. Christmas in Japan. Where to begin? Well, we could start at the very beginning with Francis Xavier bringing Christianity to Japan in 1549,
Pity
but
you didn't
that
succeed.
didn't exactly end so well.
Yeah, no.
So instead, let's jump ahead to the Meiji era. Around the turn of the 20th century, Japan's primary focus shifted to rapid modernization, which in many ways meant westernization. Open borders led to an influx of new ideas, architecture, and culture. Among them, Christianity. A women's magazine titled Jogaku Zashi published an article in December 1884, introducing the concept of Christmas to its readers. December 25th is called Christmas, and in countries where flowers bloom, it is a time to celebrate, much like New Year's Day. Since our country is gradually adopting Western customs, there are quite a few homes that have been holding this ceremony for some time.
I can't even wrap my head around the idea of. It's very difficult, at least. A country that had little or no exposure to Christianity for centuries until 1884, when it finally started being talked about again. It's just incredible.
Even though Christianity never really caught on, by the Taisho era, Christmas had already established itself as a beloved, albeit secular, family holiday, complete with gift-giving Santa and all. And it seems, from the beginning, that some
I mean, I don't know. This pretty lady here, she can hurry down the chimney any time of year. Am I right, lads?
form of poultry and cake was commonplace in the celebration. Women's magazines published annual Christmas issues, sharing recipes, decorations, and holiday ideas. A December 1915 article from Fujin no Tomo featured an American woman named Mrs. Drever, describing a full 6-course Christmas dinner, the star being a roast turkey, stuffed in the belly and steamed whole. Though in Japan,
Sounds more like an American Thanksgiving feast.
turkey was harder to come by, so notably, chicken was suggested as an alternative. In December 1926, another article featured a recipe for an elegant Christmas dish called Chicken Orleans.
Ooh.
Baked chicken stuffed with bread, boiled
Okay.
eggs, and chestnuts.
So, a variation on the Thanksgiving turkey, just with chicken. Bread stuffing. I think a lot of people, especially the Americans, are familiar with that sort of thing. Chestnuts, all right. Boiled eggs, that's a new one. I've never heard of a stuffing involving boiled eggs.
Topped with a gravy
Though
made
I'm
from the
sure
drippings,
it's not bad. And I mean, when you think about it, goes well with the chicken because, which came first, chicken or egg?
garnished with watercress. The meal was rounded out with Western wine and English-style pudding served with custard sauce for dessert.
Ooh, now
Jumping
we're
ahead
talking.
to the end of World War II, Christmas was still widely
Yes, the Englishman in me is it's not really Christmas until you've had your Christmas pudding
celebrated, even in
with copious amounts of brandy.
desperate times. The December 1946 issue of
Egg came first because it's breakfast food. All right, fair. Though you could have chicken for breakfast if you wanted.
Shufu no Tomo describes how to make a festive treat from scraps in a war-torn Japan, combining rationed flour, onions, and carrots into a vegetable cake decorated with mashed sweet potato cream. The 1948 holiday issue
Interesting.
explains the process of transforming a home-raised chicken into a full Christmas dinner, ensuring not a single morsel went to waste. As the mid-50s rolled around, a post-war Japan began rapidly expanding its economy,
Post-war economic miracle.
and suddenly, lavish Christmas celebration was back on the menu. Department stores held big sales, large Christmas cakes became commonplace, and Christmas Eve saw cabarets and restaurants
Those cakes look delicious. They really do look quite tasty.
full of dancing and merriment. In 1955, roughly 300,000 Christmas trees were purchased. In 19
I love these before and after photos, you know. There's the party, and then there's the hangover the morning after.
1955, roughly 300,000 Christmas trees were purchased. That number leaped to 544,000 in just the next year. The peak of Japan's economic bubble ballooned in the 1980s, and with it, the extravagance of the holiday season.
Oh, Baskin Robbins!
The Christmas party market soared to 3 billion yen, the cake market to 15 billion, and the gift market a whopping 150 billion yen.
Jesus.
Suddenly,
like a drunk raccoon. I remember seeing that meme. Was it a video or a photograph? The raccoon that snuck into a liquor store somewhere and smashed a couple of bottles open and proceeded to get absolutely just piss drunk on wine and liquor, and then passed out in the bathroom. Just completely splayed out, almost like a rug or something.
a new market had emerged: Christmas dating.
Oh, yes.
帰ってくるあなたが最高のプレゼント。
Hotshot businessmen would take their girlfriends out for an extra special Christmas date at high-end restaurants and hotels. Expected gifts included things like the Tiffany open heart necklace or the Cartier Trinity ring. The cost for a truly romantic Christmas Eve usually clocking in at over 100,000 yen.
That's about roughly $1,000 US, thereabouts.
This extravagant level of spending wouldn't last forever, though. And so now you're probably wondering, how exactly does KFC fit into all of this? Well, to answer that question, we need to once again turn back the clock a bit, this time to the year 1970. As I mentioned before, Japan was in the midst of an economic boom, fueled by American occupation and post-war consumerism. Between 1970 and 1980, Japan's fast food industry exploded over 600%.
Oh yes, they got the first McDonald's around this time. This is also the time where they got the first modern version of the konbini with 7-Eleven, which would later give birth to Family Mart and Lawson's and Seiko Mart and Daily Yamazaki and gosh, so many different konbini brands. But the big ones are 7-Eleven, Family Mart, and Lawson. With Seiko Mart, they mostly occupy northern prefectures, especially Hokkaido.
Introducing now beloved chains such as Baskin Robbins, Mr. Donut,
yes.
the original Pancake House, and of course, KFC. It all starts with this man, Takeshi Okawara.
He's even dressed like the Colonel. Look at that. He even got the fancy bolo bow tie.
In November 1970, Okawara opened Japan's very first KFC in Nagoya, hoping the region famous for chicken would inspire sales success. In actuality, the first KFC was largely a failure, perhaps due to its unfamiliar flavor profile or arriving just a bit too early. Sales were poor. This, however, did not mean the end of KFC Japan. The failure prompted Harvard-educated Okawara to head stateside and meet up with Colonel Sanders himself. Pete Harmon, KFC's first franchisee and Colonel Sanders' #1 business partner, invited Okawara to his home farm in San Francisco. While there, Okawara
Hard to believe that San Francisco at any point had farms.
brushed horses, bathed dogs, learned business strategy, and studied the art of chicken frying from the Colonel himself.
So basically, he became a sort of Masataka Taketsuru of fried chicken, which those of you who are whiskey lovers, you'll know who Masataka Taketsuru is. He's the godfather of Japanese whiskey, and he lived it. He went over to Scotland and apprenticed and trained on for at least a few years on how to make the best whiskey from the best of the best in the world. He even married a Scottish woman and came back, and at first he helped Suntory get their start, and then broke off and founded the Nika brand of whiskey. And from there, some of the best whiskies in the world were made, and they continue to be made.
Armed with newfound retail knowledge and a deeper understanding of chicken, Okawara returned to Japan, bargained with partner company Mitsubishi, and stabilized the domestic market for a fragile young Japanese KFC. He would later go on to become KFC Japan's president and CEO, and eventually chairman. And now we
You see the long form.
market for a fragile young Japanese.
You see the long form version of that. I wonder how that all translates as Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that. That's a lot of characters for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Wow.
KFC. He would later go on to become KFC Japan's president and CEO, and eventually chairman. And now we once again
He's earned
arrive at Christmas. To understand how KFC
All we
became
want for
synonymous
Christmas
with the
is a little bit of
season,
Kentucky.
we need to first separate fact from fiction. There are two separate versions of the story, and there appears to be some amalgam of myth and truth to both. Myth A, the quote, official story.
All right, let's hear it.
The first origin story comes by way of the official KFC website. In the early 1970s, a foreign expat visited a KFC branch in Tokyo on Christmas Day. The homesick traveler lamented their inability to acquire a traditional Christmas meal in Japan and remarked, "I can't get turkey in Japan, so I have no choice but to celebrate with Kentucky Fried Chicken." Some unnamed yet
Non-sponsored, by the
legendary
way.
KFC team member overheard this and, like any good capitalist, used this Westerner's grievance as inspiration to launch KFC's very first Christmas campaign, with accompanying tagline, "Christmasu ni wa Kentucky," or in English, "Kentucky for Christmas." Myth B,
All
The
right.
Nun. The second story is shrouded in folklore, but I find it much more compelling. Once again, it all goes back to Okawara. According to the man himself, this legend originates in the early days of his first store in Nagoya. As the holiday season rolled around, Okawara was approached by a nun from a nearby Christian school. She was interested in purchasing KFC for a kindergarten Christmas party, but with one special request. Could a KFC employee come dressed as Santa to inspire the children with holiday spirit?
Oh,
Emboldened
Nice
by
idea,
low
isn't
sales
it?
figures, Okawara not only agreed, but he himself donned the signature red suit and delivered festive Christmas chicken to all the good little boys and girls.
good man.
Everyone
good
had
man.
such a fantastic
Yes.
time that word of mouth spread, and more people hired Kentucky Fried Santa for an extra special holiday party. These locally famous celebrations piqued the interest of a national Japanese TV network,
There's something so charming and wholesome about that.
prompting them to interview Okawara. During the interview, he was asked if fried chicken was a typical meal enjoyed at Western-style Christmas dinners. Despite knowing the truth, that turkey was the preferred poultry, he reached into his sack of tricks and pulled out a little white lie. Okawara informed Japan on national television that yes, indeed, fried chicken is a traditional staple of a classic Christmas feast. So,
Okay. A little white lie, but you know, no harm done.
which story is the truth? Well, I can't say for sure, and perhaps nobody really can, but there does seem to be some elements of fact in both tales.
Yeah, it could
And
be
the-
both. I mean, both things could have theoretically happened on the timeline at roughly the same points. I'm dreaming of a white lie Christmas. He may have BS, but it's damn good marketing. It is. It really is. He was ever the shrewd marketer, that one, and it's paid off with the establishment of a Japanese Christmas tradition.
Indisputable truth is what followed.
Kentucky Christmas! Chicken Christmas! Kentucky Christmas!
Chicken Christmas.
Kentucky Christmas!
In the holiday season of 1974, KFC Japan launched its first Christmas campaign with the aforementioned slogan, Kurisumasu ni wa Kentucky. They launched a variety of ad campaigns featuring KFC as the can't-miss centerpiece for your perfect Christmas feast.
Kentucky で Christmas! Kentucky Fried Chicken!
Line is, it makes sense. You know, you're having to plan out a dinner for friends and family, and in swoops Kentucky Fried Chicken on your telly, and the simple message of, don't worry about it. We've got you covered. We've got you covered. Just get yourself a nice bucket of KFC, and you're all set.
Alongside this new holiday marketing push, they introduced some special Christmas bundles, like a bucket of chicken with a bottle of wine, suggesting that adults too could celebrate the Christmas season.
Gosh, that sounds so posh. I have never had wine with KFC. Have any of you in chat ever done anything like that? You know, maybe a nice glass of Merlot, or maybe a little white wine to go with your KFC. That sounds really posh.
But it wasn't until 1985 that the true KFC Christmas paradigm shift began, with the introduction of the party barrel.
Even the design is
今年のパーティーバーレルはチキンにサラダにパーティーセットトッピングも楽し
That's clever, though. It all kind of stacks in the bucket. I'm sorry, I can't call that a party barrel. There's just some things just won't do. Whenever you think KFC, you think of the bucket. That's a party bucket. May not sound as well. A barrel doesn't sound any fancier, though. That's a bucket. It's a bucket.
しいおしゃれなブーツのアイスクリームとてもイブまで待てないねパーティーバーレルケンタッキーフライドチキンです
A specially crafted holiday feast featuring their signature fried chicken, a side, and a special Christmas cake, all packaged in a convenient, festive-themed cylinder.
That
The cleverly
is clever.
designed container was partitioned by temperature. Since heat rises, cold foods were placed on the bottom, with chicken and warm sides stacked on top.
Very clever.
Taking
actually.
advantage of the Japanese obsession with limited time goods, accompanying the barrel was a festive Christmas-themed plate with a special design that changes every year. Now,
I can only imagine how much of a collector's item these plates have become with each year, especially with the older ones being the rarest of all. Yeah.
remember earlier how we talked about Japan's economic boom and the romantic Christmas dinners of the 80s? Well, unfortunately, as with all good things, the boom went bust. By 1990, the economic bubble had burst, marking
that's
the
right.
beginning of Japan's lost decades, characterized by sluggish economic growth and a notably shrinking economy. However, this proved to be the perfect timing for KFC. Just as the country was beginning to familiarize itself with KFC's festive party barrels, expensive outings and ostentatious celebrations became less reasonable. Instead, most began to opt for simpler, smaller, friendable. Instead, most began to
Oh dear. Definitely something you cannot get away with on Western television. The dawning of blackface.
opt for simpler, smaller, friend and family-centric get-togethers, much like the old days, except with one modern twist. That's right.
ケンタッキークリスマス
チキンクリスマスケンタッキーフライドチキン
It's
Call it
recession
fate,
proof.
call it genius marketing, call it the inevitable machinations of an intrinsically capitalist society. Whatever you call it, KFC had made its Christmas mark and was now here to stay. These days, millions of households celebrate with Kentucky Fried Chicken every year as a true holiday tradition. In 2018, Christmas sales raked in an astonishing 6.1 billion yen for KFC,
Lord.
and in 2019, the figure jumped to 7.1 billion. An estimated 3.6 million families enjoy KFC for Christmas dinner every year.
I doubt they were able to sustain that through 2020 onward. Probably cratered that year.
Many
Just,
franchises
you know, pandemic and all that.
see over 10 times their regular sales during the holiday season.
Man, if you had a rough quarter or something like that, that can really fill out your inside straits.
KFC's modern Christmas offerings come in a variety of form factors and add-ons, with franchises taking
They all look
reservations that
tasty.
often sell out months in advance. They still come with a
Goodness.
festively decorated barrel, a limited edition plate, and a Christmas cake. If you're quick enough, you can even put down a deposit for a premium roast chicken, perhaps hearkening to the early days of Christmas in Japan. And for many, Christmas romance is still widely celebrated, acting as a snuggly winter holiday to cozy up to that special someone. The
I mean, what more could you ask for Christmas than to find love? I think that would be probably best Christmas present of all. You know, aside from the fact that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was born in a manger in Bethlehem and, came forth to save us all from Satan's power and etc., etc.
phenomenon of fried chicken and cake for Christmas has become so embedded in Japanese culture that many competitors have begun to sell their own bundles. Rival fast food chains like McDonald's and Most Burger, as well as most major convenience stores. But when in Japan, nothing
You couldn't expect the competition to just not want a piece of the action.
truly says Christmas like a nice hearty barrel of KFC.
パーティーバーレル早割予約受付中クリスマスケンタッキーにしない
And there you have it. Probably more information about Japan's Christmas time celebrations than you
That's lovely.
ever really cared to know, and yet, now you know it. Foreign and unfamiliar traditions that seem strange at first begin to make a lot more sense when we uncover the history behind them. In an increasingly globalized world, I think it's important that we all strive to better understand and respect one another's cultures and traditions. When it really comes down
fair
to
enough.
it, Christmas time in Japan is about spending quality time with loved ones, much like anywhere else in the world. Perhaps our traditions aren't so different after all. I'm Tim, and these are my thoughts. What are holiday celebrations like in your home? I'd love to know, so drop a comment down below. And for more Tim thoughts like these, come on by the channel, check out my Instagram, and drop by the Discord. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out the next episode of Tim Explains Japan for more scrumptious knowledge from the land of the rising sun. I'll catch you in the next one.
Give that a like. That was a good one. There's a link in chat for everybody. That was fun. And having eaten KFC in Japan before, I can tell you that it's good. It certainly tastes a damn sight better than than anything the Americans have to offer. Rivaled only by UK KFC, I think. Let's see. Here's another one.
Are you thinking about visiting?
I love your voice. Welcome in, Aiden. Welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? Here's another one. There's a short one from Worthy Travels about going beyond a Kentucky Christmas. What to expect when visiting Japan at Christmas time. So, aside from eating KFC, I love gooning to your voice. Okay, that might be a bit oversharing, Aiden, but thanks, I guess. I don't know. Holy shit! I just noticed your tabs. Yes, there's a lot of tabs. This is why we have stream titles of frequent references to the tabbing. Anyways, let's watch this. What to expect when visiting Japan at Christmas. 3, 2, 1, go.
Are you thinking about visiting Japan at Christmas and wondering what it's really like? Well, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll show you what's open,
It is so
what
British.
you can eat,
Yeah, funny how that works out, isn't it?
and what you can actually expect if you find yourself in Japan during Christmas. Plus, we'll share our own experiences celebrating Christmas in Japan. Spoiler, it's magical and just a little bit quirky. Picture
Honestly, I would say of... You know how there's that one book about 1001 places you must see before you die? I would add to that list Christmas in Japan. It's just something you have to experience. You really have to experience it for yourself.
glowing city streets, steaming bowls of noodles, snow monkeys in hot springs, and strawberries so perfect they'll ruin every other strawberry you eat afterwards. Stick around because I'm going to show you why Christmas in Japan might be one of the most underrated times to visit. And yes, KFC does make an appearance.
Ah, of course.
We adore Christmas, and typically we jet off to Europe to visit the Christmas markets during this time of year. However,
I would not go this year. So many of them, they are just locked down and miserable, and just because so many Western European countries have decided, yeah, we'll let in infinity number of migrants, and turns out they don't take too kindly to displays of faith from rival religions, and yeah, they tend to become stabbists and shootists and very violent at that sort of thing. And yeah, except for Warsaw. I'm told that Warsaw, since Poland has not decided to accept infinity migrants into their borders and into their country, they don't really have to worry about that sort of thing. So yeah, if you have to go to a traditional European Christmas market, go to Poland and go to Warsaw. Please do not announce to the chat when you're joking it. Yes, please. We don't need to know that bit.
this time around we decided to explore Japan. We had seen it during Sakura season, so we wanted to experience something
Gorgeous.
different. And what better time to visit than Christmas? We were not disappointed. We visited Osaka, Kyoto, Nara, and Tokyo on our 2-week trip, and I'll put the links to those videos in the description. Christmas in Japan feels quite distinct from how it's celebrated in Western countries. It's not a public holiday, so people continue working on Christmas Day. Instead, it's
Yeah.
more akin to how we celebrate Valentine's Day. The first thing to note is that
It's sort of a holiday that it's there, but you know, it's not one that you would get to have a day off from work. Though I think there's an understanding, especially with foreign workers, that yeah, they probably will be taking that day off because obvious reasons.
everything is open, which is great if you're visiting, because you don't want everything
That is
to be closed down.
convenient.
You want to be able to visit places and enjoy meals at restaurants.
I mean, how many times are you celebrating Christmas and, you know, you might forget something and you need to pop into a shop or something like that. Unless, you know, it might be a grocery store, it might be a domestic version of a konbini, but most things are going to be closed on Christmas Day just because most everyone's going to be home with their families. And here, entirely different story. Everything's open and you can go out and about, whatever you need, whatever you want, you can do it.
So what else can you expect if you visit Japan at Christmas? In the bigger cities like Tokyo, you will see some winter illuminations in some locations. But it won't be like what
Some?
you see in the West with every shop and street with winter decorations.
Yeah, but the places that you do see them, they really do it up right.
We love the illuminations at the Tokyo Dome, but we had to go out of our way to see them.
It's worth a trip, though. Really is. I mean, look at that chart.
You'll also find some Christmas markets, which, while they mimic the European Christmas markets, do so in a very Japanese way. Very organized.
Let's see. Trying to replicate some German fare here. Hot lemon beer. Looks like they got churros and they're trying to do the whole thing with long. Oh, I'm in the way for that. Hang on. Let's move VTube Studio out of the way. Okay, we'll hop over here for a moment. You see here, chat, the
markets do so in a very
here we are.
Japanese way.
You see they've got the churros, which is not exactly German food, but yes, long, or as most people have to say, long, man. Let's see, we also got the length is justice. I love that. Very decorative English. You've got a cheese and roast pork hot sandwich. 6 sausage links, either smoked or I guess grilled with some basil, or just a assorted pack. Karlsbrau draft beer, hot lemon beer. Not sure about that one. And then a roast pork steak with potato and tomato garlic sauce. Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Very organized. One of our favorites was at the Umeda Sky building in Osaka, but we also found one under the Tokyo Tower.
Those of you who hang out in the Castle Expert Discord with me and watch the Japan Walking Tour videos, I think we may have encountered this before at the foot of Tokyo Tower.
Let's talk about food, because while Japan isn't roasting chestnuts over open fires, it's doing something arguably better. Let's start with something you might not expect. Strawberries. December is peak strawberry season in Japan. I know, winter fruit,
grapes
but trust me, they're real and they're spectacular. We're talking huge sweet strawberries that pop up in everything. Christmas cakes, mochi, limited edition Starbucks
strawberries
drinks,
with matcha,
to name just a few. And now let's talk about the curveball, KFC. Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas. Thanks to a brilliantly odd marketing campaign in the 1970s, eating KFC on December the 25th became a full-on tradition in Japan. These days it's so popular that people reserve their fried chicken buckets weeks in advance.
Months.
So when in Japan on Christmas Day, we had to participate in this tradition. It would have been wrong not to. We did it. It did feel wrong, but also kind of right. Would we do it every year?
How does it feel wrong?
Probably not. I'm glad we tried it once. That's the great thing about traveling, learning about new traditions. Of course, nothing hits quite like Japanese winter comfort food. A hot bowl of ramen after walking cool streets is unbeatable. That rich, steamy broth, chewy noodles, and soul-warming depth of flavour. Delicious.
Oh yeah.
We really appreciate you following our travels. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have the ability to hype this video, that would mean a lot too. Thanks in advance, we really appreciate it. Christmas in Japan can also be quieter than other more popular times of the year. Take Kyoto for example. In spring it's elbow-to-elbow cherry blossom chaos. But in December, it's busy, but there's space. And if it's this busy in December, you can only imagine what it would be like in March. You'll also find tranquil gardens, crisp winter air.
Seems like it's just quiet enough before another deluge of people around New Year's. New Year's is when that's when a lot of people really go all out.
Beautiful stillness that actually makes you feel like you're actually enjoying Japan rather than fighting for the best spots. And bonus, hotels are cheaper, reservations are easier, and you don't need to dodge umbrella mobs or selfie sticks at every corner. We also visited the stunning Team Labs Botanical Show in Osaka, which is a surreal, immersive experience that felt like stepping into a glowing dream. As with most things in Japan, it felt slightly over the top, but very, very cool. If you're in Japan at Christmas, there's one experience that equal parts adorable, majestic, and totally bizarre. The snow monkeys. Yes, actual monkeys, sitting in natural hot springs, in the snow, looking more relaxed than they've ever been on vacation. These fuzzy little legends trek through the mountains of Nagano just to soak in warm onsen water, like it's their full-time wellness retreat. They've definitely cracked the code on self-care. Meanwhile, I was just trying not to wipe out on the icy trail while carrying my camera.
Very icy, so if you do come here, be very careful, or run some spikes down below.
Jigaikadani Monkey Park is one of the only places on Earth where you can see wild animals enjoying a spa day. Getting there requires a short hike, which can be snowy, or in our case, very icy, but it's absolutely worth it. Just bring decent boots and your sense of adventure. If you want to see more, we've got a whole separate video on the Snow Monkey adventure, and we'll add a link in the description. Now let's talk about shopping. Obviously, Christmas and shopping goes hand in hand in most Western countries, so you'll be pleased to know that Japan also offers winter sales around this time. So shopping districts like Shibuya, Shinjuku and Ginza are buzzing. Remember, take your passport so you can claim the tax back. Finally,
yes, duty-free shopping, can't forget about that.
In cities like Tokyo, Osaka and Kyoto, it's chilly but rarely snowy. If you want a snowy Christmas, then head north to Hokkaido or mountain regions like Nagano. Ski resorts are in full swing by late December.
There's a reason they chose Nagano for the Winter Olympics.
Hot springs are magical in winter, just ask the monkeys. December is relatively dry with clear, crisp days and lots of sunshine. So dressing in layers is also going to be the best thing to do, because shops and restaurants will be warm, but outside might be chilly. So why?
But with as much walking as you'll be doing, sometimes it actually pays to just dress light. I remember it was dead of winter around February into even early parts of March in Japan, the times I was there, and I was doing so much walking, I actually started to sweat a lot, wearing like long sleeves and a heavy coat. I actually did a lot better just with a light windbreaker and short sleeve shirts. People looked at me like I was mad, but I was moving around so much. I had so much circulation that I was fine. Might have to dip for lack of battery life, but I'll come back in a minute. Oh, all right.
Visit Japan at Christmas. Slightly fewer tourists, cheaper travel, sparkly lights, steamy noodles, monkeys in hot spas, strawberries in everything, and yes, fried chicken for Christmas. Whether you're a Christmas curmudgeon dodging tinsel and tradition, a savvy traveller looking to beat the crowds, or just someone chasing a unique experience, Japan at Christmas is a gem hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop us a comment if you're planning to visit Japan this winter, or if you've already been, let us know what surprised you the most. Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next one.
There we go.